Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Annalisa and this is going to be the Pi Day book tag. This tag was created by Angela of Literature Science Alliance because she's very into science, including math. My cat is sitting at my feet and purring. Yeah, hello, you're very cute. You can't have my pie. I brought pie and as I'm reading off the prompts I'm going to show you clips of me making it. Pumpkin pie is my favorite pie. It is delicious. Yeah, I think he smells the whipped cream. So the first prompt is, pi is an irrational number. Name a character that you find irrational. And for that, I'm going to name two characters, one who's irrational in a negative way and one in a more positive, creative way. And the more positive one is the main character of Space Opera, who is a musician and artist type, and he is not the most rational of people, but his creativity is really useful in that he does a lot of lateral thinking and coming up with things that he needs to come up with to solve the sci-fi problems that he comes up against in that very strange book. And the second is Marianne from Sense and Sensibility, which a lot of the book is about how irrational she is and how she is the sensibility half, and her sister Eleanor is the sense half. And Marianne makes a lot of not terribly great decisions that mess up her life a little bit in that book. And a lot of it is about her personal growth of figuring out that sensibility should be balanced with sense. Number 2, pi comes from the word perimitro, which means perimeter. Talk about a book that has to do with borders between countries or worlds. And for this I decided to pick The Space Between Worlds, which is all about the differences between a lower class world and an upper class world, a high tech world and a low tech world, and between alternate universes, and how different classes can't see from each other's perspectives, and how the upper classes treat the lower classes badly, and how borders are put in place that make it impossible to cross over from one to the other, and how people are kept apart, and how science is separated and resources, how there is a separation between the different alternate realities, but they cross over into each other all the time. And that was just a really interesting book, and it examined a lot of those border topics. Number 3, pi seems to be built into the Great Pyramid of Giza. What is an Egyptian-inspired book that you would recommend or would like to read? And for me, I'm not sure how much the Davabad series is specifically based on Egyptian folklore, but I know that it is set originally in Cairo, and then throughout the series the main character remembers her time in Cairo as being very special, and that's like her native place she is from. And I have really enjoyed that series so far. It is a fantasy, kind of a historical fantasy, based on Middle Eastern folklore. I'm not sure if there are specific countries. It's very good, has a lot of interesting characters going on and a lot of very interesting politics. That's a very large part of it. And then there's also the Amelia Peabody series, which is about English people going to Egypt and excavating, digging stuff up and pilfering artifacts and sending them back to the British Museum, and about all the adventures they have there. Really interesting. A lot of more drama than you would perhaps expect from archaeological digs. Number 4, pi is a constant. What is a comforting book that has been a constant in your life? I find How to Be a Normal Person by TJ Klune very comforting. And ever since I've read it, it's something that has been around for me to reread because I bought it right away, and it makes me feel lovable and like there are other people out there like me, and gives me all the happy sappy gay romance feels. Number 5, pi has infinite decimal places. What is a book series you feel will never end? And for me that is the In Death series by J.D. Robb. Her 51st book has just come out in that series, and that's just one of her pen names. She also writes as Nora Roberts and comes out with books under that name at the same time she's coming up with J.D. Robb books, and I don't know if they're ever gonna end. She's kind of getting to be middle-aged now, so I don't know if like she has a plan of how to end it or if she's just gonna write them till she dies, because she has been writing them since 1995 was when the first one came out. So I hope that it keeps going for a really long time, but I also kind of hope that she like brings it to a satisfying conclusion instead of it just petering off because she can't do it anymore. Number 6, some people feel that it would make more sense to use the number tau, pi times 2, instead of pi in math. Who's a character you think should have gotten more page time in a book? And for me, in the book A Blade So Black, there are a couple of side characters, a princess and the princess's bodyguard, who I could totally read a whole book about just by themselves. And I do get some more page time in the second book, but like I would like just a whole book about them. They are really interesting and really fun to read about. That is a set in modern day portal fantasy, Alice in Wonderland inspired story with really badass ladies, and the second book definitely lives up to the first book, and I'm really impressed with the level of the side characters. In short series you don't always get to explore the side characters all that much, but in addition to the about 4 main characters, you really get to explore and find out a lot about the tertiary characters. There's like 5 to 10 more of them, and they're all really well developed, and I really appreciate that. 7, what is your favorite pie and a book that you feel embodies that? And for me, that is pumpkin pie, and one of the things that I really like about it is that it is a fall type pie that you have at Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so it feels very cozy, and it's very associated with all of those feelings, familial and harvest time. And also I grow pumpkins, so I feel like attached to the actual fruit that it's made of. And I've gotten to actually make pumpkin pie from my own harvested pumpkin that made me feel cool and really connected to it. And so a book that gives me those types of vibes is A Turn of Light. It gives me very fallish vibes because it is all about things dying and being reborn, and the cold winter being incoming and having to prepare for that. And it has a lot of soft, warm, fuzzy familial feelings with both found and biological families, and it has a really sweet, cozy romance, and we get even more of those types of vibes in the second book. It's also about discovering your place in the world and your own powers and what you can do, and a lot about being connected to nature because it's set in a little farming community, and the main character and her best friend are very heavily connected to the earth, and the whole story revolves around the specific place where they live and how that specific earth has magic in it. So I feel like that gives me the vibes of pumpkin pie. So thank you so much for watching. Anyone who wants to do this tag can. It doesn't have to go up on Pie Day like this one is, and Angela's is, I believe. I will leave her link below, and if you prefer leaving an emoji to words, how about a pumpkin for today? Have a happy Pie Day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!